Happy 4th of July, everybody, and welcome into your Talking Fitchburg interview with my friend Mark Malekish. This is the second time I'm doing the intro, by the way. And Mark, happy 4th of July to you.
Yeah, thanks to you too.
I was saying you were the 4th of July king, but I don't know if that's actually accurate. You're the king of knowledge and safety when it comes to 4th of July.
That's a big crown to wear.
It is. It is.
So, I'll do my best.
I'm setting this expectation super high.
Right.
First and foremost, what is the law when it comes to fireworks in Fitchburg? Period.
Okay. So Fitchburg follows generally the same laws as the rest of the state. That said, we're going to be a little more stringent about making sure that those laws are followed. Have to get that out there. The general rule, the easy way to remember what's allowable and what's not allowable for fireworks is if it goes up, if it leaves the ground, or if it goes boom, if it makes a pop or a bang or an explosion or anything that's off the ground, then it's illegal.
Period.
Period. It doesn't matter if you're in Fitchburg, it doesn't matter if you're in any other municipality around us. That's the rule. Unfortunately, it's not always followed to the T. And in Wisconsin, they do allow those types of fireworks that go up and go boom to be sold. So there's some confusion out there where the average citizen thinks, it's okay to buy them because there's places that you can go along the interstate or wherever and buy those.
Well, some of them they sell like, here's a permit and you can go to this one place to shoot them off, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
But that doesn't always get followed.
Right.
We know that. Okay, so now that we've established the baseline, let's establish the fun facts of fireworks safety. And really what we're really talking about here is you're really looking at this multi-factor. First off, no firework is safe, period, right? I mean, can you just start with that level?
Really, yes. And I'm going to backtrack just a touch because we always cover what's not allowed. Let's touch real quick on what is allowed. So the state law defines what is allowed as novelties, more so than fireworks. Mm-hmm. That would be sparklers, it would be snakes, it would be some of the ground fountains. They don't leave the ground, but they do shoot sparks. They do all of those things, right? That stuff is illegal, and that stuff is for sale here in Fitchburg via the tents. There's 2 tents that are set up, as well as some of the major retailers have them. That's legal all day long. So if you want to enjoy the stuff that goes up and goes boom, we highly encourage that you find a professional fireworks display to go observe. And then if you want to do some fun in the driveway with the novelties, go for it. Just please be safe. And that gets us to, your question just now.
Yeah, so same thing. A statistic saying that fireworks started an estimated 32,000 plus fires in 2023 with 3,760 structure fires just in general, 849 vehicle fires, 27,000 outside fire. This data coming from your friends at NFPA. What's interesting is that, again, I state the question, no firework is really safe, and there's a reason that the professionals do it for a lot of reasons, and I've seen from your guys' reports, what they have to go through, for being certified, but there's a lot of steps there.
There are. To the point that no fireworks are safe, even the novelties are dangerous, right? So in theory, everybody's going to follow the law, and they're going to go visit a professional fireworks display, and they've got rules that they need to shoot. Right, to do their shoot, they have to follow certain rules. But the novelties still injure people all the time. What's the first thing that we put in a kid's hand on the 4th of July?
A 2,000-degree sparkler.
Yes. So it couldn't burn much hotter than that if it wanted to, and we go ahead and put it in a toddler's hands. So there's some things to consider with that, right? Make sure that if you're going to use a sparkler and you have a small child or even a child that maybe is a little wound up because it's the 4th of July and they've been eating hot dogs and junk food and candy and sugar, hold their hand while they hold the sparkler. Don't just turn them loose with a sparkler, okay? Once that sparkler is done, have a bucket of water and douse it in the water and just let it sit there until it cools. That same applies for anything else. Say you have a fountain that you lit the wick and it didn't go off. Leave it alone. Let it sit. It's probably a dud. Please don't try and relight a very short fuse or find some other way to make this thing go off, because that's when the accidents happen. In terms of keeping fires to a minimum, don't do them right next to a structure. Don't do them right next to a dry garden bed or something like that, where that fire might catch and spread.
What if it's windy out, Mark?
If it's windy, that's a no-go, right? Even the professionals shut down for that. So just making sure that you're following good old-fashioned common sense, which, will help you figure out what's common and what's not. But understand that these are sparks. They are pieces that are burning hot, no matter what the novelty is. And, make sure that you've got some water nearby so that you can put them out. Make sure you're not doing it right next to a building or something else that can be damaged. And make sure that you're giving it some space, as well as your kids and your family, to stay safe.
Wisconsin Department of Health put out 137 emergency room visits in 2024, with most of those injuries 18 and under. Mm-hmm. So, it just kind of follows suit with, young children and fireworks don't mix.
They just don't. The kids love them. It's a great way to celebrate our 4th of July, our nation's birthday, right? And we're all super proud to be Americans, so we want to celebrate. That's fine. Just make sure that if you have kids, they're being supervised. And they're not watching adults do dumb things either. I'm going to throw this out there. Alcohol and fireworks or novelties are a terrible mix. It's just the truth. So model good behaviors, teach your kids what's safe and how to do it safely if they're using the novelties, and stay with them, supervise them. If they're under 18, well, they're minors. You should be monitoring them anyway.
I remember a conversation last year, I think, of you and I talking about neighbors, and if you're that person in the neighborhood who's decided that you've taken upon yourself to be the firework expert, and you're going to do that. I think some people forget that you got pets out there, you got children, but there are also people who are affected by loud noises and by so. Again, we don't want to put a damper on anybody's holiday spirit, but unfortunately, there's still other factors besides fires that can affect people this holiday season.
Personal experience. I had a dog just recently who she was terrified by fireworks, right? So try to be mindful of, if you're that neighbor, try to be mindful of the people around you and the pets around you. If you're the pet owner, try to provide someplace good and secure for that pet. Maybe deep inside the house, in a room away from the street or away from the house, the other house that's shooting fireworks. Make sure they've got you might turn the TV on, you might turn the radio on to help sort of deaden the sound of the fireworks. And just know that those animals experience anxiety just like people do. Or I've got a neighbor who has a child who's on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. They literally go for a ride out in the country away from everybody during that time, and it ends up, unfortunately, being a few nights. There's the few nights leading up to the 4th, there's a 4th, and then there's a few nights afterwards where everybody still has fireworks to shoot off. Be mindful of that. Try to be mindful of the neighbors and the pets and all of that.
Finally, just in the enforcement side, I know you can't speak for PD, but between both of your entities, you're out there, you're trying to protect the community and stuff. But if people are really, if somebody has a complaint to file, PD said the number's out there, and you certainly can give them a call and stuff. But if you're really concerned and stuff, what do you do as a resident?
Well, call, right? The PD's got the way they'd like you to handle it. If you see a fire, 911 all day long, right? That's the first thing that you should do. But if you have a noise complaint or something like that, follow the procedure for the PD. I can tell you that I'm actually working all night on the 4th, so I'll probably be out roaming the streets, seeing what's going on, making sure that if I see something unsafe, or even if I see something safe, stop and chat with the people and talk to them about it.
Yeah, we want everybody to be safe. We're not condoning that. We want you to shoot off fireworks, so don't do whatever. But ultimately, safety's on everybody to stay safe this holiday season. And there's just so many things that are going on. So hopefully you're thinking safe. Leave it to the professionals. And for the professionals who are out there working, first off, thank you for working on the holiday season, whether you had a choice or not. We appreciate that. But if people want to learn more about safety tips in general, whether it's fireworks, fire safety, or more, you got a great resource on the website, social media, or pick up the phone and chat to this guy. He's pretty nice.
I'm out there.
If you remember his name, unlike me, who couldn't think of his name to begin with. Anyway.
If the phone rings, I'll answer it, and I'll answer whatever questions you guys have.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate the update. We'll check back in with you the month of August.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me.